What's up, you guys? It's MB Maniac here with you, and today I'm going to be going over some of the top headlines and storylines that went around the NBA during week 2. And I do apologize for my voice, it's a little raspy, but I am coming down with a cold, and I wanted to get this video out before it got worse so I could share my thoughts and opinions of what's going on in and around the association. So starting off in the Eastern Conference, I think the main storyline is still that the Cleveland Cavaliers remain undefeated at 6-0. They have been playing really well. LeBron looks like he's on a mission this year to win MVP again. You know, Kyrie stepped it up, and Kevin Love has looked a lot better. And even though they've had a couple really close games, I never really thought that they would lose. You know, their star power is just too much, and they just look like they are head and heels better than the rest of the Eastern Conference teams. I was looking forward to that Thursday night TNT game when Boston came into Cleveland, but with no Al Horford, I didn't really give him much of a shot, and they looked kind of flat. You know, it wasn't as good of a game as we hoped to see, but hopefully when they play next time, everyone will be healthy, because I do think that Boston, along with Indiana, are the two main teams that could really give Cleveland trouble, as well as Toronto, who is also playing pretty well at 4-1. You know, I think a lot of people picked them to drop off in the standings a little bit, so they're probably a little extra motivated, as DeRozan and Lowry have started off their years nicely again, and probably look to make another all-star appearance as a duo. And at the bottom of the Eastern Conference, the 76ers remain winless still, and there's really hope at the end of the tunnel though, because at the very least, Joel Embiid has looked really solid. He's probably the early candidate for Rookie of the Year, and he just impacts the game on so many levels, and he can even shoot threes, which is really surprising. You know, I know he could let him fly, but it looks like he actually has that as part of his main game. So if he can continue to work on all those things, you know, he's going to be a really good NBA player, along with Ben Simmons, who is obviously injured. So the future does look bright, but this season looks like it's going to be pretty similar to how it's been the last couple of years for them. And heading over to the West Coast, we had quite the amount of storylines. First of all, I want to start off by saying I am really shocked that the Pelicans have started 0-6, and I feel really bad for Anthony Davis because he is just putting up some disgusting numbers, but they can't come up with a win, and he's probably getting really frustrated right about now, and the Pelicans really need to be careful because, as we all saw, superstars will leave their teams. We saw Kevin Durant do it. We've seen it happen in the past, and if he continues to have a problem with this team, you know, I think they might even have to consider trading him, which as a Lakers fan, I am all hopeful for. You know, I'd be all ears and all in for Anthony Davis because he is no doubt a superstar, and if New Orleans does have to trade him, I think LA would be a pretty good destination spot for him. And the Timberwolves also continue to struggle. They're only 1-4, but I watched a lot of their games and they seem to be a lot more competitive. You know, they haven't had the easiest schedule, and I do think that during the middle of the season they'll figure things out a little bit. But the other young team I wanted to talk about is my Los Angeles Lakers. And how about the performance they had in the second week of their season? They started off at 1-3, pulled out a pretty tough game in Atlanta, which is not an easy W by any means. And then on Friday night, they shocked the world, and it was about 3 hours before tip-off, and I was looking on StubHub with my buddy, and I said, you know what, dude, I know the tickets are expensive, but we should go because I feel like they're going to pull it out. And man, did they ever pull out a nice win, and I'm so glad I went. And the excitement is just in the air. The LA Lakers are back. You know, it's not a bad time to be a fan anymore. You can come out of your shell and look up because this team is going to have such a bright future. I don't think any of us, including myself, expected them to be 3-3 at this point in the season, with 4 easily winnable games. I shouldn't say easy, but they're definitely winnable, and the schedule does get a lot tougher after that, so I really hope that they take advantage of these next 4 games. My only fear is that, you know, after beating the Warriors, they might be a little cocky and, you know, think that they're better than they really are, and they can't do that because it would be really sad to see them drop Phoenix or Dallas, you know, one of those 2 games, because they're both at home, and I really think they can come up with both of those wins. And how about the LA Clippers starting off 5-1, a lot better than I thought. In my preseason predictions, I thought they would fall off a little bit just because they have the same formula, but I've been pretty wrong so far. Their bench has played a lot better than last year, and everyone looks healthy and spry, but at the same time, you know, we say this every year at the beginning of the season, so I'm going to give it a little more time before I officially say the Clippers are going to be better than I thought, but as of right now, they're playing really well, and they picked up a huge win over the Spurs, which is obviously not easy, as they're a really good team, and it was on the road, so we'll keep looking at how the Clippers do. And obviously, the main storyline of the week was that OKC versus Golden State Warriors showdown, and man, did it live up to the expectations. It wasn't a close game, but I mean it lived up to the expectations in that they were drawn back and forth. It was clear that OKC is not having it with Durant, and that was a mistake because I don't remember what the player's name is, but there was a rookie on OKC who dunked on Durant and got in his face, and I was just thinking, what the hell are you doing, man? Do you know who this guy is? And Durant responded accordingly. He did nothing short of spectacular as he went on to drop 39 on 4-15 shooting and hit 7 3-pointers. He is in full Warriors mode, man. He is letting it fly from downtown. And even though they dropped the next game to the Lakers, which they can't keep doing that, they can't keep dropping games to teams that they should beat. I just think that they were so emotionally drained from Thursday night that they kind of came in flat on Friday. But still, I think the Warriors are looking like one of the best teams in the NBA, even at a 4-2 start. And that's pretty much going to do it for week 2. But man, I'm so happy the NBA is in full swing, and the storylines just keep getting nicer and nicer. And hopefully you guys will keep coming back to continue for updates. And that was going to do it for me. As always, any questions, comments, feedback you have for me, let me know in the comment section below. Signing off as always, MB Maniac out.